A lot of people ask me about the contrast between believing something, visualizing it, and then actually doing something. Are you supposed to do something, or do you just wait for it to come? And I think you need to do a bit of both. You need to believe, and then you need to take what we call inspired action. And I think that, certainly there's a lot of science now, either through neuroscience, metaphysics, quantum physics, psychology, that demonstrate that when we repeatedly think a thought and we put belief into it, we put emotion into it, then we actually do start attracting that to our life. And it's about repeating the thought. So if you're thinking a negative thought like, oh, I'm afraid the house is going to burn down, it's not going to suddenly catch on fire. But if you keep repeating that thought and keep thinking that consistently, and then starting to believe it, then it will start to happen. Same with the positive things. If you keep believing that and thinking it, the more you think it, the more you'll start to believe it. So that's an important part of it. It's the visualizing, it's believing, and part of that is knowing that sometimes you visualize things that are not within your realm of possibility at the moment. And so, it's something that does have to happen from, other resources that come your way that you just couldn't have orchestrated. But I really believe we were put here to co-create with the universe or God or whatever you want to call it. So we've been given skills and gifts and passions that we were put here to use and to express to the world as our gift to the world. And as we use those passions and gifts, we feel fulfilled. So it comes full circle. We feel fulfilled. We're helping other people. We're serving other people. We're encouraging other people. And it all just kind of, wraps together in one beautiful picture. And so, the first part is to think about what is it that you love to do. And so the whole idea of the co-creating, sometimes people say, well, I put it out there, so I've now just kind of sat back, in my lounge sofa and just thought, okay, just waiting for the doorbell to ring and it will come my way. Sometimes that happens, but generally we're actually given ideas and thoughts to proceed with, and then we take that inspired action, which is using our gifts and our skills. And I think one of the good examples of the difference between thinking and acting and how you've got to do both is plants. There are people who, grow plants will often say to you, if you talk to plants, then that will help them grow. And my mother, when I was growing up, she'd always talk to her plants, and her plants would always thrive. And now there are some scientific, evidences of that about, when energy is put toward an object. And there's certainly been some research around water, but with plants, if there's positive energy put towards something, then it will help it to thrive and grow. So if you believe in that, then the thinking, the visualizing process is the part of talking to the plants, talking to them positively, talking to them, encouragingly, touching them and saying, I want you to grow. It sounds crazy, but I know a lot of people that do that when it's work. So that's part of it. But if you just do that and you don't water and feed the plant isn't going to live because it doesn't have the life-sustaining thing. By the same token, if you just water and feed it, it might grow, it might thrive. But if you do the talking to it, then you're actually bringing a new dimension into it. So it is important to have action as well as your words and your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, but they should be combined. And if it's starting to feel hard, if it's starting to feel like a slog, then really revisit that, because your emotions are a good feedback mechanism. And if consistently it feels not right, if it feels stressed, if it feels too pressured and it just doesn't seem like you're moving forward, then really reevaluate it, because it may mean that it's time to actually take a different path and a different road. So think it, believe it, feel it, and then also take that inspired action. And know that what you think, believe, and feel, it does not have to be just what's within your realm of possibility in your world, because as you think it, as you believe it, resources and opportunities will come your way that you never ever could have brought in just by yourself.